Okay, here we are, another of Tai Lopez's 67 steps. This is step 4. Again, title, some big one crazy title, but it's about Picasso and the 33%. And this episode is all about mentorship. And the core thing about mentorship is this understanding that all the answers don't come from inside of you. You need to get these answers from outside. And Tai mixes this in with this Picasso quote about good artists copy, great artists steal. It's not actually a quote from Picasso, but Steve Jobs thought it was, and now everybody thinks it is. And that is that you take directly from people that you want to be like. And there's other quotes that say this similar kind of thing. Newton standing on the shoulder of giants, JFK, the rising tide raises all ships. And I'm reading this book right now, Where Great Ideas Come From, by Stephen Johnson, I think it is, somebody Johnson. And in that he talks about the adjacent possible, and that is, you bring together these ideas and create something new from that. And so it's about finding a mentor, and and it's ideally a person, because you don't just learn the knowledge, you learn everything. You learn the way they act, the way they think, the way they do things from a day to day, and you can't pick and choose from somebody what you copy, because you don't really know what's the important thing. I mean, maybe you think, oh, this is and this and this thing that they do, those are the reasons of this person's successful, and I want to be like them, so I'm going to do those things. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's a gestalt of everything they do. So, mimic. Fake it till you make it, And you need to follow that person. Figure out what your end game is. What do you want to be? Find somebody who's 10 or 20 years ahead of you and draft behind that mentor. Go right behind them and get pulled along, and get raised up by their rising tide. And so Tai has this law of 32%, and that is that you spend a third of the time with people who are below you, 33% of the time with the people at the same level of you, and 33% of the time with the people who are above. And the reason you go with the people below you is because you can help them. And it's an ego boost as well, because it's nice to know that there's people doing worse than you, but you can help them. And 33% people at the same level, of course, because friendships are important. And friendships are most strongly formed through adversity, but they're carried on through mutual benefit. So, you got to keep some friends around. Life changes, and it's difficult to keep friends. And then these 33% of the people who are of your time with these people who are above you. People who are doing what you want to do, and they're 10 to 20 years down the line from you. And maybe they're not exactly, because hopefully, you're an innovator as well, so you're doing something slightly out there, but there's ideas, get multiple mentors as well, And one of the things he talks about in this is something that I've really seen a lot, and that's that people, now there's this envy that's tinged with hatred of people who are successful, and you think, they got successful, they didn't deserve it, blah, blah, blah. Tai is saying, don't cloud your judgment, to prevent you from learning with, even if you don't like something about somebody, you can learn something from them. They are, whether you like it or not, whether you believe it or not, they're further along than you are, And, maybe they make you feel uncomfortable. But feeling uncomfortable is a motivator. Friction, resistance, pushing yourself against something, these are motivators to success. But, and when you find a mentor, remember, it's not their job to give you the information. It's your job to get it from them. And, they may not be great teachers, they may be tough, they may be rough. So you're going to have to toughen up And don't be stubborn, or without humility, which is lesson number 3. And don't look for perfection. These people are going to be flawed. So, those are the things to take in mind. But, of course, the question is, how do you get a mentor? And Tai seems to love the movie The Karate Kid that I probably haven't seen in 30 years. And in that movie, funnily enough, the guy's name is Mr. Miyagi, and I happen to live in Miyagi. So there you go. But the lesson is that you don't learn the way you think you're going to learn. So don't presuppose. But so Tai gives a list here of 7 things about finding a mentor. One of them, number 1, be persistent. Make a list and try and contact them. And he quotes Woody Allen. Again, he misquotes Woody Allen about half of success is showing up. Woody actually said it was 80% of success is showing up. But keep on going at it. Take it slow. Peter Drucker says 18 months is time frame for change. So you don't have to do it tomorrow. But yeah, be persistent. Take it slow. Try and do blog interviews, or interview people for an actual blog or actual podcast. It's a good way to meet people and find what they're about and see if they're who's somebody you really want to pursue. Sometimes you have to admit defeat. Say, it's not going to work. You're not going to get them, especially if they say no. If they say no, have some respect and say, okay, we're not going to do it. But think big. Go for somebody who's right at the top of the pile that you want to get to. But if you get somebody lower, that's okay as well, because you're going to make some mistakes, and so make mistakes not on the person at the top of the pile. And don't forget that books can be mentors. Charlie Munger's quote about being friends with the eminent dead. You can learn a lot from books, especially books written or co-written by the actual person. And also don't forget that you have to have something to offer. A lot of people will do it because they want to share their knowledge, and it's a bit of an ego boost for them, but do you have anything to offer, some kind of work you can do for them, or anything like that? And if you're doing these blog interviews, don't forget to say thanks. Send a gift, a card, or something like that. And so you're going to run into some pitfalls when you have a mentor. Maybe you didn't go far enough up the chain, or far enough in advance, so you're not really getting stuff that you didn't already know. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. Personality clashes. Sometimes there's a weird personal relationship, especially if it's, gender, different gender. Sometimes you can have some weird feelings arise from both sides. And, mentorship does not mean internship. So you're not working for this person for free. That's not the gig you're trying to get. So that's about it. And this is, again, a long one, but it was a long step. So, the questions are, who are your potential mentors? Write down a list. And what's your plan over the next 18 months to try and get them, and to try and get in on their rising tide? So that's it. See you tomorrow.